everyone. My first storytelling experience, so I'm a little nervous, bear with me. I do a lot of public speaking, which is so funny, but I've never just spoken about a weird little personal quirky story. So, and I think I might have read the theme wrong. I read It's a Sign, and I just thought oh, what are there all these weird, bizarre things that have happened in my life? Because I'm one of those people where weird things are always happening, weird coincidences. So that's kind of my story tonight. If anybody is my friend on Facebook, you may have heard it before, and I apologize if anyone's dated me. You probably heard it on date one, because this is hey, my name's Ashley, weird things happen to me. Sometimes I have dreams that come true that are not with good outcomes. I guess just to extend to my 10 minutes on that note, weird sign, but what is it a sign of? I have a lot of dreams that come true. I don't know if anybody else has ever had that happen, and it's so weird. And one time I dreamt of this awful plane crash. So in my dream, I'm driving down this freeway, and I see this plane spiraling sideways, and it crashes into the freeway in front of me, and there's high-rise buildings to the left, and I woke up. And the next morning, when I opened my computer screen, that image of what I dreamt was on the screen, and that plane crash happened in Taiwan. So and I woke up and I was oh my God, why does this keep happening? Because that's just one of many. And then another weird dream story. I was falling asleep one night, and I was half asleep, and I fell asleep, and I pictured my mom passed away. So I fell asleep for a split second, and I looked at my mom's grave, and there was a severed arm next to it. And I immediately woke up, and I was oh, that was weird. The next day, around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, they found a severed arm under a bridge outside of Boston. So when I date people and I tell them these stories, they're please don't have a dream about me. So anyway, but the reason I came, so I saw Shelley's post, and I thought, oh, I have a great story to share. And I've been telling this story for years just because it's bizarre, and I'm still trying to figure out what it is a sign of. So about 10 years ago, I was working at a restaurant, and I was also working in real estate at the time. And I had to work a shift at 11 o'clock in the morning, and I scheduled a real estate showing for about 10 o'clock in the morning. And it went pretty quick, so I had a little bit of time to kill, and it was a beautiful spring day, so I said I'm just going to drive around and just kill some time in my car. And I was driving around downtown New Bedford, and I saw this yard sale at a church on South 6th Street. And I collect records, so that's usually why I stop at yard sales. So I said, oh, I'll take a look. It was a huge yard sale, so I figured it'll kill some time. I'll look around. So I park my car, I get out. It's the Our Lady of Assumption Church. So pretty big parking lot, and there's at least 8 different rows of tables lined up. So I'm just walking around, and it's a lot of junk. I mean, it's a church yard sale, so most of it's just stuff that people donated that they probably couldn't sell if they wanted to. And so I'm walking up and down aisle after aisle, and nothing is really popping out to me, and everything's kind of old looking and just musty and gross. And for some reason, I'm walking and I see this little box. And it caught my eye for some reason, for no reason at all, right? And this was the box. So I'm what's that? I'm also a book geek, so it's, volumes, books. So I'm what's this? So I randomly just touched one volume, and I pick it up and I open it, and I'm oh, it's a photo album, right? The old 80s photo albums, right? And I laughed because I saw that someone left a little picture in here, right? So in my head, I'm someone left a picture, right? And I lifted it up, and it's a picture of me when I was 5 years old, right? Right? It's a picture of me, and my face is painted. I'm a little cat at some festival, and so I'm someone left a picture, and I was oh my God, there's a picture of me in this photo album, and I started screaming, and everybody was and so it's a picture of me. And it's so wild because, I could have touched any of these other albums and they're all empty. And what are the odds that somebody forgot one picture and I'm the one that found it and it's a picture of myself? And so I had a big family party about a week later, and I asked everyone, and nobody in my family belongs to that church. I have no idea how it got there or why I found it. But for the last 10 years, I've been trying to figure out, what is this a sign of? What does it mean? It's just crazy to me. So, that's my story. So I'm still trying to figure out what it means. I'm not religious at all, so I can't really connect that. However, just last week, so new development, just last week I was having lunch with a friend and she said, you know what I've been meaning to ask you for years? She said, or for the last year and a half, she said, was your mother Cheryl Bendiksen? And I said, yeah. And she says, I go to Our Lady of Assumption Church. Do you know that we said prayers for her every single week? And nobody in my family goes to that church. So somebody had to have bought the prayer service for my mother. So that's the next step in my crazy story, is figure out who bought those prayers for my mom. And maybe that has something to do with my mom. I don't know. Something crazy out there. But so I think it's a sign of something. I just don't know what yet. But that's my crazy story tonight. Thanks.